I am Homo sapiens. After life began on Earth billions of years ago, the development of life on Earth has evolved from a single-celled prokaryotic organism to the life forms we see today. Some of the creatures that developed in the Jurassic period still exist today. A creature resembling a lizard, found only in New Zealand, is not actually a lizard but a reptile-like creature. This species evolved around 250 million years ago during the Triassic period, and during the Jurassic era, it was found across the globe. This will be discussed in the video. Additionally, the ancestors of today's birds, reptiles, and mammals were clearly evolving during this Jurassic period. Many insects, fish, and aquatic animals, or their ancestors, evolved during this time. The series Evolution of Life on Planet Earth has reached the point in Earth's history when reptiles ruled the planet, and today, mammals dominate the Earth. The Jurassic period, which lasted from about 201.3 million years ago to 145 million years ago, falls in Earth's Mesozoic era, after the Triassic period and before the Cretaceous period. This period is known for the development of life, particularly the rise of dinosaurs, as well as major changes in Earth's climate and plate tectonics. The period is named after the Jura Mountains, located between France and Switzerland, where the rocks of this era were first identified. Dinosaurs and early mammals were prominent creatures of the Jurassic period, but many other species were also part of this era's ecosystem. While dinosaurs gained popularity due to their large size and film industry interest, the period also saw other reptiles, mammals, amphibians, pterosaurs, and invertebrates like insects contributing to the complex and diverse ecosystem. The Jurassic period was a time of peak biodiversity in the history of life on Earth. The Jurassic period marks an evolutionary era in the history of life on Earth, from which many creatures that evolved can still be seen around us today, even though their forms may have changed. This proves that not only do species evolve through evolution, but their existence is deeply tied to a shared biological history. The video will cover the Jurassic period in 5 parts. 1. Plate tectonics, climate and plant life. 2. Marine life of Jurassic oceans and cephalopods. 3. Evolution of dinosaurs, mammals, and the ancestors of birds. 4. Other terrestrial creatures and insects of the Jurassic period. 5. The Tithonian variation extinction event. Plate tectonics, climate, and plant kingdom. During the Jurassic period, the supercontinent Pangea began to break apart. This shift initiated the formation of new ocean basins, especially in the early stages of the Atlantic Ocean, as the continents Laurasia and Gondwana started to separate. The division of Pangea led to the expansion of shallow seas and coastlines, providing opportunities for many new marine species to thrive. The climate of the Jurassic period was warmer and more humid compared to today, mainly due to the high levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which ranged from about 1800 to 2000 ppm. This increased greenhouse effect raised the global average temperature by 3 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius above modern levels, although regional variations existed. The polar regions were ice-free, tropical areas had high humidity, and there was heavy rainfall. Atmospheric oxygen levels were also higher, around 26%, compared to today's 21%. In this warm, humid climate, dense forests spread, dominated by gymnosperms and ferns. Various species of conifers, including Araucaria, were prominent in Jurassic forests, forming vast woodlands. Cycads, with their palm-like appearance, were common in tropical regions. It is important to note that angiosperms, or flowering plants, had not yet evolved. Plants still reproduce through spores or cones. These vast, green, and humid forests provided ideal conditions for the development and diversification of large reptiles and other life forms. An interesting fact about the Jurassic period is that during this time, a day lasted 23 hours instead of 24. Marine life of Jurassic oceans and cephalopods. At the end of the Triassic period, marine life suffered significant losses, but many species made a strong comeback and new organisms evolved. Ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs continued to dominate the oceans, while coral reefs began to expand again. However, the reefs of that time were primarily made of sponges and rudist bivalves, unlike the coral-dominated reefs we see today. Among fish, the evolution of bony fish continued, with ray-finned fish, Actinopterygii, sharks, and rays inhabiting the oceans. During the Jurassic period, cephalopods, today's octopuses, squids, and nautiluses, experienced significant diversification. Jurassic cephalopods developed several adaptations for predation, including fast swimming, the effective use of tentacles, and advanced eyesight, placing them at the top of the food chain. One interesting question is whether octopuses existed during the Jurassic period. Some research suggests that ancient species of octopuses lived in the oceans around 160 million years ago during the Jurassic. Although they were somewhat different from modern octopuses, they shared many structural and behavioral similarities. A notable feature of octopuses is their soft bodies, which makes it difficult for their fossils to form, hence their fossil record is sparse. Ammonites, a highly successful and diverse class of cephalopods in the phylum Mollusca, displayed a wide variety of shell structures. The ammonite fossil record is extensive, highlighting their diversity and evolution and reflecting their abundance in Jurassic oceans. Today, ammonites are considered key fossils for dating Jurassic rocks. Belemnites were another prominent group of Jurassic cephalopods. These creatures resembled squids, but had an internal shell called a rostrum. Belemnites were fast-moving predators that preyed on smaller marine organisms. Nautiloids, which were highly diverse during the Paleozoic era, became more restricted and less diverse by the Jurassic period, though they still existed, primarily in deeper ocean regions. Cephalopods played a major role in the marine ecosystem. They were not only predators themselves but also served as an important food source for marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. The study of modern cephalopods, especially octopuses, one of the most advanced and intelligent creatures in today's oceans, demonstrates how the organisms of that time have evolved and improved over millions of years. Evolution of dinosaurs, mammalian ancestors, and birds. The Jurassic period is often called the Age of Dinosaurs. However, I find it necessary to mention that many of the enormous and popular dinosaurs, such as T-Rex, were not found in the Jurassic period but rather in the Cretaceous. But don't be disheartened. There was no shortage of diverse, large, fascinating, and dangerous carnivorous dinosaurs in the Jurassic. Still, the beauty of dinosaurs is not just in being gigantic and ferocious. That's just cinematic propaganda to attract audiences. Did you know that there were also plenty of cute, small dinosaurs? For example, the Microraptor could stand on your palm, and you can easily find a list of cute dinosaurs on the internet. There were countless herbivorous and carnivorous dinosaurs of various sizes that once roamed the earth. Anyway, as we know and as mentioned in the previous video, dinosaurs evolved from early archosaurs during the Triassic period, but they split into two distinct groups during the Jurassic, Saurischia and Ornithischia. Saurischia should be understood as the blizzard-hipped dinosaurs, whose pubis bone points forward. The Saurischians included both carnivorous and herbivorous dinosaurs. They further divided into two main types, theropods and sauropods. Theropods, mostly bipedal carnivorous dinosaurs, included well-known species such as Allosaurus, which was discussed in the previous video. The Cretaceous-era T-Rex and Velociraptor also belonged to this group. Theropod predators evolved sharp, serrated teeth, powerful jaws, and agility, allowing them to dominate their ecosystems. Theropods were also the first dinosaurs to develop feathers, which evolved in smaller theropods. A good example is the small, feathered theropod Compsognathus, which represents an early stage in bird evolution. The ancestors of modern birds like Archaeopteryx were also members of the theropod group, which I will discuss later in this video in the section on bird evolution. The second type of Saurischians, sauropods, were famous for their enormous size and long necks. Dinosaurs like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus were some of the largest sauropods of the Jurassic period. They were herbivorous, feeding on the abundant vegetation in the lush Jurassic forests. Other dinosaurs like Volcanodon and Barapasaurus also evolved later on. In fact, sauropods were the largest animals ever to walk the Earth, reaching lengths of up to 30 meters. Their adaptations included column-like legs, long necks to reach tall trees, and highly efficient respiratory systems, which allowed them to grow to such massive sizes. The second group that evolved from archosaurs after Saurischia is called Ornithischia, also known as bird-hipped dinosaurs. These dinosaurs had a pubis bone pointing backward, which made their hip structure resemble that of birds. However, this similarity is only structural, as they were not the ancestors of birds. Ornithischia consisted entirely of herbivorous dinosaurs, and their development began towards the end of the Triassic period, expanding significantly during the Jurassic. Some of these dinosaurs walked on 4 legs, while others were bipedal. Their teeth were specifically adapted for cutting and chewing plants. These dinosaurs often lived in large herds, which helped them protect themselves from predators. Some species developed unique defensive adaptations, such as the plates and spikes of Stegosaurus, the horns of Triceratops, and the armor of Ankylosaurus. These features served as protection against carnivorous predators. Triceratops and hadrosaurids were also members of this group. Another revolutionary evolution that took place during the Jurassic period was the emergence of the ancestors of birds. The most famous early bird-like dinosaur from this time was Archaeopteryx, which lived around 150 million years ago, toward the end of the Jurassic. Archaeopteryx is considered one of the earliest known ancestors of birds because it displayed characteristics of both modern birds and theropod dinosaurs. Archaeopteryx had well-developed wings similar to modern birds, but it was not capable of efficient flight like today's birds. Instead, it likely used its wings for limited gliding between trees. Unlike modern birds, it had sharp teeth and claws on its wings, which were traits of non-avian dinosaurs. It also had a long, bony tail, different from the short, fused tail called a pygostyle, seen in modern birds. Scientists agree that Archaeopteryx represents a transitional form between small, feathered theropod dinosaurs and birds, showing the evolutionary path from dinosaurs to birds. Other theropod dinosaurs related to birds during the Jurassic period included dromaeosaurs and troodontids, some of which had feathers but were not capable of flight. These dinosaurs acted as evolutionary bridges between birds and other dinosaurs. True flight-capable birds, however, fully developed during the following Cretaceous period. The Jurassic period, while known as the golden era of dinosaurs, was also a time for the adaptation and evolution of mammals. This development led to the age of mammals in which we live today. It's true that Homo sapiens are not just mammals, but we live in the age of mammals. The biggest evidence for this is that today, the largest creature on Earth is a mammal, and the largest terrestrial animal is also a mammal. During the time of reptiles, in the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, they were the largest creatures, while mammals were small. In the Carboniferous period, insects were the largest. During the Jurassic, early mammals also evolved, but they were small in size and mostly nocturnal to avoid dinosaurs. These mammals were part of groups like docodonts and multituberculates, which were small, rodent-like creatures that ate insects and soft plants. They avoided direct competition with reptiles and mostly stayed hidden underground or in dense vegetation to avoid predatory dinosaurs and reptiles. Multituberculates were one of the longest living groups of mammals on Earth, surviving for almost 100 million years. They resembled modern rodents, and their teeth were specially adapted for gnawing and grinding. All species of this group are now extinct. The species of the docodonts group were known for their complex teeth, allowing them to gnaw or chew a variety of foods. They are linked to mammals but were ancestors of monotremes rather than marsupial or placental mammals. They were semi-aquatic, likely feeding on fish, and can be seen as the ancestors of modern monotremes like the duck-billed platypus. Therians are a major group of mammals characterized by giving birth to live young, unlike their egg-laying ancestors. Therians evolved around 160 million years ago during the Jurassic period. All living placental and marsupial mammals are descended from them. The evolution of therians is considered a significant event in the history of life on Earth, allowing mammals to spread into various forms across the globe. Their small bodies, diverse teeth, and sharp brains made them highly adaptable, from insect eating to omnivorous lifestyles in different ecosystems. Pseudotribos, found in present-day China, had unique teeth and is an excellent example of an early therian that appears to be a link between marsupial and placental mammals. Metatherians, the ancestors of marsupials, were also evolving during the Jurassic period. These mammals were generally small insectivores, and their specialized teeth allowed them to consume a variety of foods. Placental mammals further evolved from Eutheria. Fossil evidence from early eutherians like Juramea suggests that it was one of the early ancestors of placental mammals. These early mammals developed enhanced hearing, sight, and smell, which helped their nocturnal habits. Their brains, particularly the cerebral cortex, evolved for advanced cognitive functions and behavioral complexity. Other terrestrial animals and insects of the Jurassic period. During the Jurassic period, apart from dinosaurs and early mammals, many other terrestrial creatures also existed. These included reptiles, amphibians, and insects that lived on land, in the air, and in water. These organisms played roles as both predators and prey, sharing the ecosystem with dinosaurs and mammals. In the Jurassic period, crocodilomorphs evolved, which were ancestors of today's crocodiles. While they resembled crocodiles, they differed in size and lifestyle. Some were small, slender, and more active on land, while others were larger and adapted to aquatic life. Turtles and their ancestors, prototurtles, had also evolved during the Jurassic period. They lived both on land and in water. Some species of Jurassic turtles were gigantic and adapted to various environmental conditions. Tuatara is the only living member of the Rhynchocephalia order and the Sphenodontia family, found in New Zealand. It's the largest reptile found in New Zealand and looks like a lizard. This species evolved during the Triassic period 250 million years ago, and various species of Tuatara and other reptiles from the Rhynchocephalia order existed globally during the Jurassic period. 60 million years ago, except for the Tuatara, all other sphenodonts became extinct. Large amphibians were also present during the Jurassic period, mainly concentrated around water bodies. Early frogs and ancestors of salamanders were evolving in this period. These smaller amphibians began replacing larger amphibians like temnospondyls, which were already becoming extinct. Flying reptiles called pterosaurs ruled the Jurassic skies. Many of these creatures existed during this period, such as Dimorphodon and Rhamphorhynchus. They had leathery wings, long, broad, and thin. Some of them had teeth that helped them catch fish. Some pterosaurs, like pterodactyl, later grew to enormous sizes and were carnivores, hunting small terrestrial and marine animals. The diversity of insects had also increased significantly in the Jurassic period. They thrived in dense forests of gymnosperms and ferns. Insects played an important role in the Jurassic ecosystem, acting as pollinators for gymnosperms and as a food source for early mammals, reptiles, and other insects. Numerous species of beetles and dragonflies evolved during this time, along with early butterflies and moths. Though modern flowering plants evolved in the Cretaceous period, some early moths and butterflies in the Jurassic fed on gymnosperms. In addition, flies and wasps were also present during this time. Early species of spiders existed during the Jurassic period, primarily preying on small insects and spinning webs in the dense forests of the Jurassic. Tithonian variation extinction event. Around 145 million years ago, there was a minor extinction event, marking the boundary between the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous periods. The marine ecosystem was particularly destabilized during this time, leading to the extinction of many marine reptiles, especially several species of plesiosaurs and ichthyosaurs. Ammonites, which were abundant during the Jurassic, largely went extinct by the beginning of the Cretaceous. Some terrestrial dinosaurs, including species of sauropod dinosaurs, also experienced a significant decline in diversity. During the Triassic and Jurassic periods, both dinosaurs and mammals adapted effectively. The evolution of both groups over millions of years shaped Earth's biodiversity, allowing for the development of modern species. This demonstrated that, regardless of size, adaptability is the true foundation for the continuation of life.